The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945 showed the world the devastating power that nuclear weapons could unleash. The bombing started a nuclear arms race, with leaders vying to possess their wonder weapon, but only the Soviet Union was particularly determined to get them. Welcome to Before Now. In this video, we'll uncover the Soviet Union's most shocking secret weapons and technologies, hidden from the world until now. From automated nuclear retaliation systems to space weapons, get ready to uncover the astonishing innovations that fueled the Soviet Union's quest for military supremacy. Let's get to it. Determined to match the military might of their rivals, the Soviet Union's engineers worked tirelessly to develop their own nuclear arsenal. By 1949, their efforts paid off as the USSR managed to replicate America's success by creating and detonating their first atomic bomb, RDS-1, with a yield of 21 kilotons. But what happened next? For the Soviet Union, this was only the beginning. The race for nuclear dominance was far from over, and the world held its breath, wondering what would come next in this high-stakes game of brinkmanship. The atomic bomb sparked the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis, but the Soviet Union's next move was even more astonishing: nuclear bullets. Why? Traditional nuclear warheads were costly, destructive, and created perpetual no-go zones. Motivated by the need for precision and reduced collateral damage, the development of low-yield nuclear weapons took center stage during the Cold War. These weapons included nuclear-capable caliber ammunition, including 7.62mm, 12.7mm, and 14.3mm. These bullets were designed for use in iconic weapons, like the Kalashnikov rifle and heavy machine guns. Calculations suggested they could revolutionize warfare, potentially incinerating tanks with radiation and thermal emissions. A burst of these bullets could destroy a tank platoon or fortified bunker, with minimal radiation contamination compared to bomb explosions. However, significant development challenges arose, primarily due to the critical mass required for uranium-235 and plutonium-239 fusion, which posed significant technical hurdles. Here's a shocking fact: the armor-piercing projectiles we use today, tipped with depleted uranium for its radioactive power, trace back to the Soviet Union's relentless push for military dominance. Their secret experiments laid the foundation for this devastating technology. In 1961, the Soviet Union's nuclear program hit a remarkable milestone with the detonation of the Tsar Bomba, a colossal 58-megaton hydrogen bomb, tested over the Novaya Zemlya archipelago. This gargantuan device released a staggering explosion, equivalent to 58 million tons of TNT, a force 4,000 times more potent than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. The US was not pleased with the competition. In a bid to respond to the perceived Soviet threat, the United States ramped up its own nuclear weapons program, leading to an arms race between the two superpowers. In 1962, the Soviet Union began secretly installing missiles in Cuba, just 90 miles from the US mainland. This move was seen as an attempt to counter the US's nuclear capabilities and increase the Soviet Union's ability to strike the US. The discovery of these missiles led to the Cuban Missile Crisis, a 13-day confrontation between the two superpowers that nearly escalated into a nuclear war. The Soviet obsession with nuclear energy led to the development of fascinating machines like the Soviet nuclear battle mole. Ever heard of a nuclear-powered underground submarine? It would be more accurate to call it a subterranean device. The idea for this device was discussed by the Soviet command as early as 1950. However, this 75-foot-long subterranean device was later developed in 1964, featuring a drill capsule, rear feet, and soil-expelling turbines. Its dual objectives were to destroy enemy underground nuclear warheads and deliver nuclear warheads covertly. The Soviet nuclear mole's full potential remains shrouded in mystery, as its development was cut short by a catastrophic trial run. In 1964, the prototype exploded, tragically claiming 5 lives. This incident led to the project's immediate abandonment. Despite its intriguing concept, many historians question the nuclear mole's existence and whether it was ever seriously considered for production. However, evidence confirms its creation and subsequent demise, leaving us to ponder what could have been. One Soviet project that could potentially start a nuclear war without human intervention was the Dead Hand. Essentially, Dead Hand was an automated system designed to launch nuclear missiles in response to a perceived threat, eliminating the need for human command. The project began in 1974 when it was commissioned by the Soviet Ministry of Defense. The development process continued over the following years, with flight tests conducted between 1979 and 1986. After 7 launches, 6 of which were successful, the system was officially put into service in January 1985. The reason this doomsday device was created was solely as a last resort, ensuring that the Soviet Union could still launch a retaliatory nuclear strike against the West and NATO, even if the country's leadership was completely wiped out. Once activated by Soviet military officials, Dead Hand would first check communication lines to determine if any high-ranking military personnel were still alive and in charge. In the absence of surviving leadership, the system would then take control, initiating a devastating nuclear response. The current status of the Dead Hand project remains a mystery. While there's some evidence to suggest that it might still be active, there's also speculation that it may have been dismantled following the dissolution of the Soviet Union. But that's not all. Wait until you hear about this next secret weapon, the Ekranoplans. Armed with weapon ideas, the Soviet Union thought about a weapon to dominate the waters. They created one, the Ekranoplans. Ekranoplans, also known as sea-skimming giants, were massive ground effect vehicles developed by the Soviet Union during the Cold War. These incredible machines were designed to carry troops and equipment across seas at breakneck speeds, potentially revolutionizing the way battles were fought. One of the most famous Ekranoplans was the Lun class, which was based on the experimental KM Ekranoplan, nicknamed the Captain Sea Monster. This behemoth, powered by 8 Kuznetsov NK-87 turbofans, had a wingspan of 232 feet and could reach speeds of up to 341 miles per hour. Another notable Soviet Ekranoplan was the A-90 Orleanik, which was used for military transport and beach assaults. Ekranoplans were not only capable of high-speed travel, but their exceptional maneuverability allowed them to perform search and patrol duties with unparalleled efficiency. Furthermore, these ground effect vehicles could safely pass over naval mines without triggering them, ensuring the secure transport of troops and equipment during critical military operations. Ultimately, these capabilities made Ekranoplan indispensable assets for the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Hold on, because the next Soviet weapon is even more unbelievable. One of the lesser-known military projects of the Soviet Union was the development of a unique mobile bunker system designed to protect its soldiers during conflict. This ingenious invention featured a mechanism that allowed the bunker to remain level even when traveling over rough terrain, ensuring that occupants would not be tossed around or lose their balance. The mobile bunker was heavily armored, providing a secure shelter for soldiers amid intense combat. Additionally, it could be easily transported, allowing for rapid deployment to various locations as needed. Its low profile also made it difficult to detect, providing further protection for those inside. Now, let's reveal an even deadlier Soviet technology. The Soviet Union's pursuit of biological warfare capabilities began in the 1920s, but gained momentum during the Cold War. They established a network of secret biological warfare labs, known as biopreparat, which operated under the guise of civilian research institutions. These labs developed and tested deadly pathogens, including anthrax, smallpox, and tularemia. As the Soviet Union's biological warfare program advanced, concerns grew about its true intentions. The 1972 Biological Weapons Convention, signed by the Soviet Union, prohibited the development and production of biological agents. However, evidence suggests that the Soviets continued their secret research, exploiting loopholes and maintaining a formidable biological warfare capability. In 1979, a devastating accident at a biopreparat lab in Sverdlovsk, now Yekaterinburg, led to the world's deadliest anthrax outbreak. The incident, initially covered up, released anthrax spores into the atmosphere, killing an estimated 66 to 100 people and infecting hundreds more. The Sverdlovsk outbreak was initially attributed to contaminated meat, but later investigations revealed the lab's involvement. However, the incident led to increased scrutiny of the Soviet biological warfare program, sparking international condemnation. Despite this, the program continued, shrouded in secrecy, until the Soviet Union's collapse. And in 1992, Russia officially acknowledged the lab's role in the outbreak. The bitter rivalry between the USSR and the US ignited the space race, a 31-year quest for cosmic supremacy from 1957 to 1988. Driven by an insatiable desire to be first, both nations invested heavily, sacrificing time, treasure, and lives. An example was the Polyus-Skiff project, a large orbital weapon platform designed to target and disable hostile satellites and missile defense systems. Other space-based weapons concepts explored by the Soviets involved directed energy weapons and even orbital nuclear explosives, designed to detect and destroy enemy missiles, providing enhanced missile defense capabilities and surveillance. These space-based assets allowed the Soviets to disrupt enemy command and control infrastructure, showcasing their relentless pursuit of innovative, if not controversial, defensive solutions. Which of the Soviet military's secret weapons did you find the most fascinating? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye for now.